Throughout history, the evolution of living organisms has taken on bizarre and at times strange forms. However, what may seem amusing or perplexing to us often has a practical purpose in nature. Yet, it's sometimes impossible to look at certain modern or prehistoric animals without smiling. Today, we will explore some of the odd and unusual creatures that have inhabited our planet at various times. Over the course of Earth's existence, evolution has produced an incredible array of the most peculiar life forms. There are so many strange and unusual animals that one video is clearly not enough to cover them all. But we will do our best to share as many of these fascinating creatures as possible and briefly describe the reasons behind their intriguing appearances. Hallucigenia. The very name of this creature suggests that such a life form could only be the product of a hallucination. Currently, science recognizes 3 species of hallucigenia. They could grow up to 5.5 centimeters long, but they were often much smaller. Hallucigenia lived in the seas during the Cambrian period and resembled a worm-like form, moving on 8 pairs of slender legs with tiny claws. Along their backs were long, sharp spines, which likely served as a defensive mechanism. Eurypterid. Despite often being referred to as a sea scorpion, the eurypterid is essentially a giant lobster. It is one of the 2 largest arthropods that ever lived on Earth, averaging around 2.5 meters in length. These monsters primarily inhabited freshwater environments during the Devonian period in what is now northern Europe and the United States. They were likely predators, feeding on fish and other invertebrates. Apoabinia. So far, scientists have discovered fewer than 20 fossils of this unusual arthropod, which lived along the shores of what is now Canada and possibly Russia around 505 million years ago. This creature measured between 4 and 7 centimeters in length and was equipped with 5 eyes and a peculiar grasping appendage resembling a trunk on its head. This trunk ended in a small claw. In summary, the diversity of life forms throughout Earth's history is a testament to the creativity of evolution, resulting in many strange and captivating creatures that continue to intrigue scientists and enthusiasts alike. Carbonomes. These giant turtles, which survived the mass extinction at the end of the Cretaceous period, inhabited the rivers and lakes of present-day Colombia. Their shells measured over 170 centimeters in length, while their heads were about 25 centimeters in diameter. It is believed that Carbonomes was a carnivorous creature capable of feeding on anything smaller than itself, including small crocodiles. A Thercopus. This remarkable spider, with a tail reminiscent of a scorpion, measured only 5 millimeters and was unable to spin webs. While it could produce silk, it did not create trapping nets. Scientists believe that by making small pieces of silk fabric, these creatures might have lined their nests or wrapped their eggs in it. They lived around 400 million years ago in what is now North America. Dimorphodon. The small pterosaur was discovered by researcher Richard Owen, who named it Dimorphodon due to its unique feature of having 2 types of teeth, which is quite uncommon for its family. This flying reptile measured about 1 meter in length, with a wingspan reaching 1.5 meters. Deinotherium. This undeniable ancestor of modern elephants is considered the 3rd largest land animal to have ever roamed the earth. It bore a striking resemblance to contemporary elephants and lived in Africa, Europe, and Asia during the Middle Miocene epoch. Weighing over 15 tons and standing 5 meters tall, its most distinctive and unusual feature was the positioning of its tusks. Unlike most of its relatives, which had tusks growing from the upper jaw, Deinotherium had its tusks emerging from the lower jaw. Androsarchus. This predatory animal from the order Artiodactyla roamed Central Asia around 45 million years ago. Androsarchus is regarded as the largest terrestrial predator in the history of the planet. Estimates suggest that it stood about 2 meters tall, weighed up to 2 tons, and could reach lengths of up to 6 meters. Scientists have only discovered one well-preserved skull and a few bones, leaving researchers to speculate about its diet and behavior. As of now, all of these animals are extinct, and scientists can only reconstruct their appearances based on remains of varying degrees of preservation. Throughout the history of studying such creatures, their presumed appearances have often changed over time. However, even today, there are equally strange beings living alongside us on Earth. Most of these creatures evolved in isolated regions, like the early separated continents of South America, Australia, and Madagascar. Yet, in other parts of the world, some animals also develop distinctive traits through the course of evolution. Angora rabbit. This breed, developed for its wool, was popular among European nobility in the 17th century. Some individuals can grow such a fluffy coat that finding the rabbit itself within its fur becomes nearly impossible. Panda ant. Despite its resemblance to an ant with panda-like coloring, this creature actually belongs to a group of wingless wasps. It can be found in South America. Mantis shrimp. These unusual crustaceans inhabit burrows on the ocean floor and can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour. There have been instances where these animals, when accelerating, have broken through the walls of their aquariums. However, they are most notable for their vibrant displays during mating season, where they flash a variety of colors to attract females. Striped tenrec. This rodent from Madagascar boasts an extraordinary black and yellow coloration. Additionally, its body is covered in spines resembling those of a porcupine. Through the vibrations of these spines, the animals can determine each other's locations. Goblin shark. Also known as the living fossil, this fish features an unusual snout and crooked teeth that protrude from its mouth, evoking images of house elves or goblins from Harry Potter films. Fortunately for swimmers and divers, these beauties inhabit depths of over 100 meters. Decorated tree snake. In addition to their bright coloring, these snakes are notable for their hunting and movement techniques. Coiling tightly into a spiral, they can launch their bodies several meters through the air. This allows them to glide from tree to tree or attack their prey, which includes bats, rodents, and frogs. Aye. Not only does this native of Madagascar look like a creature straight out of a nightmare or a Hollywood special effects studio, but it also has a unique hunting method. The aye methodically taps on tree trunks in search of hollows left by insect larvae. Once it finds such a cavity, it inserts its elongated middle finger to extract its prey. Star-nosed mole. This North American mole boasts a truly unique snout. Surrounding its nose are 22 fleshy tentacles that it uses to feel for potential food, worms, and insects. In one of the fantasy films, Amber City, it is depicted as a bear-sized creature, making it look like a real monster. Chinese water deer. Sometimes referred to as the vampire deer, this harmless herbivore has a rather peculiar appearance. Lacking impressive antlers, these small ungulates use their elongated canine teeth similar to those of saber-toothed tigers or cinematic vampires during fights for mates. Blowfish. This unusual fish, found at great depths off the coast of Australia, has a gelatinous body. When placed on a solid surface, its appearance can only elicit a smile. It truly embodies the essence of melancholy. Living rock. On the beaches of the Chilean coast, there are creatures that resemble rocks. However, beyond their remarkable camouflage, they have the ability to reproduce without a partner. They possess both male and female reproductive organs. We'd like to thank the viewers who watched the video to the end. In this clip, we intentionally left out animals like Anomalocaris, Helicoprion, Dunkleosteus, Titanoboa, as well as the platypus, slow loris, stick insect, and many other creatures that have appeared in our materials about various eras. If you want to learn more about them, we recommend checking out our other videos on the channel. You can also discover more about the evolution of life on our planet through these clips.